It is vital to understand and respect focus and respect having a disciplined mindset, having an awareness of, okay, these are the things that are literally pulling me, tearing me from my focus. So I have to initiate my own inner authority and be disciplined enough and honest enough to say, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
This is not good for me in this season. Welcome back to Aspire Higher with Charles and Yvana. We're so honored to have you with us, guys. And if you have not done this already, can you please like, subscribe, and share our podcast? We are here to encourage you, inspire you, uplift you, be that nugget in your day that you actually hold wisdom with. You hear us and you're inspired. So please, please, please help our community by liking, subscribing, and sharing, and also commenting in our episodes. So today, Charles, first of all, how you feeling?
I'm feeling really good.
That's good.
We've been crushing it, man.
Yeah,
These
for
last
sure.
few months.
Grinding.
Travel,
Grinding.
business. You've been
Yeah.
presenting, we're building, we're growing. It's been fun. It's been fun.
Yes, how you feeling?
You know, we're both a little tired. I know
Yeah,
you asked
for
me,
sure.
but we really are because we're putting in the work, but
for
we're
sure.
always keeping in
Shout out to
mind.
all of our entrepreneurs
Yeah,
putting in the work.
Of course. Well, actually, anyone who's working for any reason.
Yeah, for
Moms,
sure.
dads,
Oof.
you know, athletes. They put a lot of
Anyone
work
that
too.
assumes a responsibility in
That's
a role,
right.
we
Yeah,
applaud you.
We applaud you. We really do.
You're killing
we
it.
do. But yeah, so, you know, being that we're a little fatigued, we're
Yeah.
being conscious of that. So we're
For
making
sure.
sure that we plan for recovery.
Right,
Which
right.
if
Recovery
you
is
haven't,
queen.
that's exactly what I was going to say. If you haven't read our
Yes.
book, or if you hadn't been following us long enough to know, we
Yes.
always talk about not the grind or the hustle mentality,
Right,
but the
right.
rest and recovery. So you work hard, sure, or put in your effort, but you need to take care of yourself.
Always.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Bingo. But today we're going to talk about how to keep it moving.
Yeah, keep it moving.
Keep it moving and also keep your focus.
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
go ahead. Let's talk about
Yeah,
it.
because this is one of the things, not just speaking from a place of fatigue, but from a
Right.
place of experience with our clients,
Mhm.
athletically, professionally,
Right.
and also ourselves. We're in an environment, in a life, in a time where there's so many distractions.
Yes, of course.
There are so many things that are vying for our attention.
Right.
We have so many messages that we're taking in. And even when you really think about it scientifically and psychologically, we're not built for the level of inundation that we have
Right.
with
right.
all the messages and media
Right.
and sounds. And
Yeah, for sure.
we are already in central nervous system overload.
That's right.
And then we have the new additions with technology,
Yeah.
frequencies that we
Yep.
can't see,
That's
that we're
right.
actually experiencing
Mhm.
daily.
Interference.
Interference. So there's so much going on
Absolutely. Right.
that it is hard to maintain focus. And sometimes I even struggle with this, even though sometimes I don't give myself the right amount of credit.
Okay.
But I can feel like my focus is shifting,
Right. Of course.
or I don't have the same attention span,
right.
or that like
Tunnel.
that
for sure.
that you know, I almost went to Ole Miss with my mindset, that land shark, you know, hotty toddy. Shout out to my Ole Miss Rebels. I had to. I mean, I just did that. That was
No,
second
put that
nature.
Down. Put that down. Okay, keep going.
If you don't know what I'm doing, if you're listening, I literally put my hand on my head straight up and down like a shark fin. Ole Miss, we do that whenever there's an incredible play or you track down a defender or, you know, whatever. All right.
USF, go Bulls. Okay?
All right, hotty toddy. All right, SEC for
Go
life.
ahead.
Yeah,
No.
go. All right, all right.
Battle of the
But
champs.
yeah, all right,
We're the
okay.
best.
All right, we rebels,
Keep going.
running Rebs. First
Okay,
down,
great.
Ole Miss. All right.
We're the
Hotty
winners.
toddy, got somebody
Okay.
who. All right. So as I was saying, I can feel when my focus sometimes is shifting.
Right.
And I think
For
that
sure.
all of us, if we're being honest, could say, especially now, we're in a time where most of us are not focused.
It's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough.
If you're being honest. I don't care how disciplined you
Yeah,
are,
for sure.
because you have to exercise more discipline now
Right.
to
right,
stay
right.
as focused.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But discipline is the key, and we talked about
Sure.
that in another episode. Shout out to all of our episodes, okay? They've been holding us down.
We've been, right, shout out to us.
Shout
I
out
mean,
to
just
us,
being
okay?
honest.
We're out here grinding. No, but sincerely, we talked about discipline.
Yes.
Discipline and boundaries, DB, my favorite two letters in the whole alphabet, because of what they stand for. When I think about boundaries and when I think about discipline, that's what is the catalyst to my focus, whether it's in sport business, in entrepreneurship, that's what drives it home for me. And with discipline and with boundary, I've learned a lot. I have learned how to say no. I've learned how to shift and pivot with strategy. I learned a lot about myself and how to commit to discipline, how to honor it, and then how to make sure that my focus, even if it wavers a little bit, because still focus, even like when you take a picture and we have a couple lenses on ours and
Samsung.
Shout out to Samsung. Okay.
Hey, I mean,
all right.
you know,
listen, we have work phones that are iPhones, but still.
An iPhone, don't unfollow us or unsubscribe because Android's clearly the better device, okay?
Clearly. But here's the thing.
Yeah, hear us out.
Yeah, just listen. So with the lenses, sometimes when I take a photo, I can switch the magnification of the lens, but the picture can come out distorted if I don't adjust the focus. In life is the same thing. I know my end goal. I know what I want. I know what I want out of life. I know how I want to drive myself with stamina and perseverance to get there.
Sure.
However, life can start to shift and alter a perfectly still photo into a blurry photo. And it has a lot to do with lack of boundary, lack of discipline, and then also lack of what your focus is. Defining your focus and your commitment.
Sure, absolutely. And one of the things most importantly is persistence.
Absolutely.
Right? So 100%. In your example with the photo, well, some people say, oh, that was a terrible shot, and they just give up.
Right.
Or
I'll take
I don't know,
20 shots.
And you know, and you hear this with I don't want to use the word older clientele, but you hear this with people who are seasoned, who aren't quite as, I guess, adept to this technology. Sometimes it's hard because it's a learning curve. And so they're just like, I don't even know how to use this. They have these devices in their hands that could literally run the world.
No, it's true.
But the small thing is I don't have time or I don't really want to learn it. You know, I know my phone can do it, but you know, I don't want to give the attention to it. So persistence, being willing to say, all right, if I feel like I'm not good at this, or I'm not getting what I want, or I'm not seeing what I want to see, I'm going to sit here till I get it,
learn it,
or I'm going to go find out the information,
right.
seek a resource or get some help, which is usually, you know, son, daughter, niece, nephew, but someone's going to show me how to do this.
Anything.
But that also is what I mean when I say focus and persistence, because you have to decide and persist that I'm going to get the result that I want.
That's right.
And so in order to get the result that you want, you have to have a clear focus.
Right.
And of course, that also then lends itself to vision, because you're using the illustration of taking a picture. But for the purposes of our conversation in our book, and also to keep in line with the theme, we talk a lot about flight.
Right.
And flight is a discipline.
Absolutely.
In itself.
Right.
Not just needing to be disciplined to learn how to fly,
right,
but if you want to stay flying, you better have your focus on
aviation
full
school
tilt.
101. That's right.
Because anything can happen, and there is no safety net.
Right.
If you're really after taking the flight of your life.
Correct.
So what are we trying to say? Where are we going with the conversation? Simply put, some of what we have told you over the last few weeks, months, and for some of you who've been in a relationship with us for years as clients and et cetera, is you've got to just keep flying.
Yeah.
Stay focused on moving forward.
That's right. Move the needle forward all the time.
It's not about what's behind you.
Nope.
It's not always about what's happening to you.
That's right. Let it go.
It is where are you trying to go?
Right.
Because the greatest war stories, you think about these veterans who've flown, shouts out to our military personnel,
for sure,
people who are actually putting their lives on the line in service. I don't care if it's local authority, I don't care if it's cops, police, whatever. Just thank you for service, right? But in particular, these guys in the sky, even commercial airlines, we don't even give them the credit and respect that they deserve.
Right.
When they get on a plane and they get that manifest, they tell them these are souls on your plane.
Yeah.
So if at any point in time these guys are off of their game, all of them are lost.
Right.
Including theirs.
Right.
And they're responsible.
Right.
So focus on flight.
That's right. I recently worked with a client where her focus was disheveled because of pressure and because of lack of performance and lack of finance. So there are some industries where you have constant income, and there are other industries where you don't.
Right.
You book something or you
Entrepreneurship.
get something, and you have to hustle again. You have to get whatever it is, and be patient in the wait.
Yeah.
However, in that time frame,
That time
it was
period.
so important, because I can't say it was so essential for her to sign, like get her contract signed so she can get all that money
Right.
during the end. But in the middle of that transition, that focus was everything. So we trained that focus. We disciplined that focus. We cut out distractions. We started removing things that were like leeches sucking from her energy to be able to distribute into the blinders that she needed to focus. And I absolutely love the beauty of horses. I love what they represent. I love their build. I love seeing them, because they're like these majestic beasts that have such a beautiful demeanor and a beautiful look. But when you're training them and when they need to focus, they put blinders on and they look just like this.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we'll do that for a beast, but we won't do that for a human. We won't do that for ourselves. And it's very important to understand that when you're trying to accomplish something, when you believe in yourself to do something greater, or when you're a part of a mission that has to get accomplished, whether you're an employee or the one that's running the company, you need to have blinders on. And you need not to take them off until you're ready.
Man, would you please repeat that? You need not take them off.
That's right. Until you know that you're ready.
Because so many people
prematurely take them off.
Then
all of a sudden the vision shifts and they're looking left, right. They're listening to that person. But when they were focused, they were able to accomplish. When they were focused, they found their destiny. It just came easy. It was like, here you go. Here's the open doors. Here's the checks. Here's the things. But it is vital to understand and respect focus and respect having a disciplined mindset, having an awareness of, okay, these are the things that are literally pulling me, tearing me from my focus. So I have to initiate my own inner authority and be disciplined enough and honest enough to say, I'm not doing that anymore. This is not good for me in this season. You know how many people I let go in seasons?
But you have
no
to.
idea.
And here's the thing. We even have our clients do this. We talk about our detoxes that we do. And sometimes when people hear this, they're like, okay, what does it mean? But seriously, some people are not finding their path or enjoying the flight. That's the other thing. In that period of time that these clients are in a place of transition or in between or whatever's going on in their lives, you have to remember that your focus has to just be on your flight.
That's right.
You have to hone in, and we talk about the detox from the perspective of, we tell people to unfollow people. Delete the social media app. Do something, because a lot of times when you're in a place where you're like, this is where I'm going, this other stuff is there on purpose trying to get you off of course. And it can be detrimental to your destination or delay it.
Absolutely. And in our business, we have a beautiful program called Purpose Periodization, to where there's structure, trademark, say that again, to where there's structure in how we guide you to propel your life forward and maximize your potential. And so with that, when I was working with another client, it was so beautiful, because she wanted the promised land to happen for her, because she's worked so hard for it. And she wanted to enter into victory. However, I'm like, how are you going to enter into victory, but you don't have discipline enough in how to train your children and how to commit to, when you come home, unplugging? These are like very vital things that were red flags for me, because if you get something prematurely or unconditioned, when you receive it, you will not walk in full authority with it, with the full blessing of it, I should say. You won't. And you won't learn how to respect it either. So I said, let's pause on what might be coming. I know it's coming, but let's pause on the ambition to try to get to feel good, to feel good, filling to feel good, right? Forget all that crap. Let's go back to the basics of, when you come home, what's your system and your routine in unplugging and de-stressing and turning lights off, avoiding stimulation to rest, recover, whether it be fitness, whether it be meditation. What are we looking like here? Then from that, how are we taking care of our inner self? How? Are you even eating right? There's so many people that are missing like the small fundamentals of focus within their inner selves, that they're just chaotically going throughout life, not understanding.
Like they say, by the seat of your pants.
And that's not good enough, because I'm wearing shorts, and that's still, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people like dresses, some people like shorts, some people like pants, but don't be living by that. Live to a standard that you can uphold with honor, integrity, and truth.
Yeah.
And with that, find a way to shift your mindset to say, if this is not producing
Right.
success and progress, and if this is shifting my focus from something that
Like
was
my
healthy
family,
to unhealthy, demolish it.
Absolutely.
Eliminate
Cut
it. You have to cut
Or
it.
put it on
and you have
pause.
to unapologetically cut it.
That's right.
Sometimes people are so afraid of what others think.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people actually that don't take care of themselves because they do too much for other people as well.
Well, not to interrupt you, but I want to make sure I
Mhm.
say this because those are two of the most dangerous questions in the entire human existence. What will other people say? And what will other people think? Instead of what do I think? You know what I mean?
That's right. First.
And honestly,
Check yourself first.
What I think is important is what I should be focusing on. And I wanted to make sure I said something because it's very important here. And I know some people probably have this connection in their mind, but you talked about blinders and focus. And as long as you were focused on what it was you're after, things were working out. But then
Right.
all of a sudden, when you take the blinders off prematurely, it reminds me of that story in the Bible where Peter was walking on water.
Yeah.
And as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus and he was
right.
focused on his master and
Right.
he believed what he said, he could walk
Right.
on the water.
Right.
I don't care what anybody believes. It's good enough for me because the fact is the man did it.
Yeah.
But then when he got distracted,
Yeah.
and I love how the story starts giving some vivid detail because they were talking about the wind and the waves and things. So it was like all the stuff he didn't pay any attention to at first.
Right.
He started to pay attention
became
to
his world.
but watch,
Yeah.
again.
Right.
And
right.
that's what focus really is.
Right.
It's very hard to stay so focused that you never break focus.
Of course.
But can you regain focus?
Right.
Because those things are still around you.
Right.
It didn't go anywhere.
Right.
You have to say either I'm dismissing myself from this environment
Yeah.
or I'm going to keep my blinders on. Like, hand me something.
Right. Right. And when I think about regaining focus, there has to be a level of grace and understanding.
Sure.
Because just because you had the focus and all of a sudden now it's lost doesn't
Right.
mean you can't regain it.
Right.
And I think a lot of people get to a point in their lives where they're like, man, I lost it, or I lost it all, or now how do I get back? Or, they ask those questions, whether out loud or intrinsically.
Sure.
And a lot of
internally.
times
Right.
internally, but a lot of times you have to realize that that same question can be reverted and you can start saying, okay, now that it's happened, this is how I'm going to pivot. This is how I'm going to reclaim. This is how I'm going to step back in authority. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And what you just said is incredible because that literally leads us to our next point. When we think about pilots, especially trained pilots, a lot of the pilots that fly even commercial, they used to be military pilots. They know how to maneuver a plane.
Oh, of course.
Those women and men,
Right.
they know how
Right.
these machines operate.
That's right.
They know them in and out.
Right.
They know the features.
Right.
They know the instruments. They know timing. It could be the same model and they can tell the difference between the two
Yeah.
because they spent time
Yeah.
with that thing.
Right.
Some of us, as you said, feel like, oh, I may have lost my focus. What do I do? You've spent enough time
Yeah.
with yourself
That's right.
to know how you work.
To know. Right.
You spend enough time in a certain environment to know how it works.
Yeah.
You spend enough time with certain people to know how they work.
Right.
That is where focus also comes into play.
Right. Right.
You also spending enough time with these entities should have in your toolkit maneuvers you can use
Right.
to put yourself back in propulsive position
Positioning, right.
for flight.
Absolutely.
When you think about a pilot, and you can imagine some of these old war movies and the dogfights, you know what a dogfight is, right? And for those of you who don't know, it's a military term. It's like two fighter jets going after each other, and the objective is obviously is not to get shot down or to shoot the other person down.
Right.
And it's happening aerially in the sky.
Right.
But in order to survive, you have to stay aflight.
Right. Of
The
course.
whole goal is to be the only one still flying. That's it.
Right.
That's the way you have to look at your existence. Keep flying. So what does that mean? They use banks. They use rolls. And these are different terms for maneuvers they use.
Okay.
Yo-yos, where they split up and down. It's like if it's up top and they're flying above their defender, they'll drop.
Right.
So
Which
that
is
the person
smart.
can't
Right,
see,
right.
or they'll come from underneath them. So those are tricks.
Tactics.
Those are tactics
Right.
that they use to make sure they can stay aflight. You need to have a series of things in your mindset, possession, or
Right.
a person like a coach
Right.
who can help you get back on focus.
That's right. That's
Get
right.
back on the flight path.
Right.
And if you don't have those things, then it may be okay to seek help from someone else
Right.
who knows how to teach you those maneuvers so that when times like this come where you're distracted or losing
Mhm.
focus, you can depend on their expertise
Right.
and then it become a part of your piloting skills.
That's right. Now I want to think about, because some people don't know that they're out of focus.
Yes.
So here are some indicators to kind of help you understand that you might be out of focus right now in life. If you are kind of foggy, if you are not very clear, you're facing fatigue.
True.
Oh my gosh. If you are overwhelmed, there are so many indicators that can show you that you might be out of focus right now in
Yeah.
your life. And when you're in focus, you're sharp, you're keen, you're calm even,
You're aware.
you're confident, you're aware, you're always ready. You're ready. You're not lethargic in a sense.
Yeah.
You are so driven to the destination that you start to embrace a sense of confidence again
Right.
that enables you to finish the task, start it, and finish it.
Right.
And those two, I think, those two parts of focus, being unfocused and focused, are very important for you to understand so that you can self-identify, where am I at?
Yeah.
Where am I at?
Sure.
That's what I do with my clients. Like, where
Right.
are you at? Where do you fit in this? And then how do we help you from this point, get out of it and grow out of it and then propel your life forward? It's very important to self-identify with where you are
Yeah.
so that you can take the steps, the necessary steps to your next destination.
And to that, it's also important to be able to say that you're aware of instrumentation. There's no pilot that only flies on instinct alone.
Right. Right.
Because it can get you in some of
Kill.
the worst
Right.
traps
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that you cannot get out of.
Right.
We talk about some of those in our book,
Mhm.
death rolls
Yeah.
and spirals.
Yeah.
There are things that happen where people think they're flying straight, but they're actually plummeting toward the ground because they're relying on their own perception
Yeah,
because
that's
the
hard.
instrumentation has either failed
Right.
or, listen to this, very importantly, they didn't maintain the instrumentation. And what I mean is there are people in your lives, and if there aren't any, then you need some that can challenge you. We've talked about that in the past. That can call you out on things
Right.
that no one else has been able to call you out on.
Right. Right.
And you also should have the wherewithal to say, I noticed something, it might have been a few weeks back. Because typically with planes, cars, us, there are warning signs that
always,
something's
always.
malfunctioning.
Right.
And what
Indicators.
and you know what? That's the key word right there.
Gotcha.
It's called indicators.
That's right.
And you can put yourself in the hangar
Yeah.
and put yourself in the care of a professional
Right.
who can help you repair and help you see that this is malfunctioning
Right,
before it causes a total miss
Absolutely.
or meltdown
Right.
or malfunction.
Correct.
So that's the other thing. What I'm saying is maybe you need a coach.
Right.
Maybe you need a therapist.
Right. Right.
Maybe you need to listen to the people who care about you, who are
And
telling
challenge
you,
right.
I see something that's not right in
Right.
you.
Right.
And instead of being offended,
Right.
listen, it's better for them to be wrong and you take an assessment and find out that they're wrong
Right.
than you to ignore them because you don't like that they called it out or saw it.
Yep.
And then later down the road, you run into a wall or fall and hitting
Say, why didn't someone
mountains
help me?
because they offered it to you and you didn't like the fact that they gave it to
That's
you.
right.
So you have to be open to correction. Correction isn't a bad thing.
Correct.
It is literally fixing,
Right.
repair.
Right. Right.
And your flight will be smoother. And it's a moment.
Right.
It's just a moment.
Just a little bit.
It's a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do for ourselves.
Right.
But we're
Right.
asking you to think the same.
Correct.
And that will realign your focus because there's nothing worse than knowing something's off.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this now. I'm about to say this for all of us listening. Have you ever been on a plane and let's say that you felt like something's wrong or you get in your car, something's not quite right. You got this feeling, I don't know, something's not right about this thing or this thing was happening weird, but I'll just keep on driving.
Yeah,
anyway.
like a sound.
And you
and a
know.
tire. Yeah.
And you take off anyway, being like, it's been good so far.
Gotta work. Whatever.
And then you run off the road or something,
Tire
God forbid,
blows out.
tire blows out, engine fails.
Yeah.
Like I said, these things could have been prevented.
Right. If you paid attention to the indicators.
And that's what I mean by focus.
Right.
You can focus a lot better too when you don't have those things in the back of your mind.
Always. Absolutely. Just take care of it. Get it done.
Come on, man. Well,
yeah, that was good. That was good because it's helping people understand what to do.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about focus and like, yeah, you need to focus.
Yeah, just focus.
Here are the ways you can focus.
Yeah.
Here are the problems that might come with lack of focus.
Yeah.
And here's how you readjust, shift, and then propel your life forward with focus because it's meant to help you get to your final destination.
That's right.
That's what it is.
That's all it's about.
So we hope that you embrace that. We hope that you set in place some boundaries for yourself this week.
For yourself.
And also discipline. If you are afraid of discipline, get over it. That's all I can tell you. Because I know
like
for
a true
fact,
disciplinarian.
Discipline is so beautiful because it comes with more freedom than you think.
Man.
Comes with a lot more
Degrees
freedom
of
than you
freedom.
think. If you put up parameters in place, you can be free within those parameters to explore, to do, to finish, to accomplish,
And
to
then
be all that
enlarge
you
your
can be.
territory.
And that will definitely enlarge your territory. And someone might catch a glimpse of your focus and your freedom and your discipline and be inspired to be just like you. So we challenge you this week to not only, yes, get our book, but also to really identify within your life, where are you unfocused? Where could you be better in focus? And then also, what are the indicators that you're distracted and how are you going to conquer the things with blinders in your life and to maintain perfect, purposeful focus?
Yeah.
That's it.
Flight is the fight. Flight is the goal.
Flight is the fight. That's in our book.
That's in our book. That's right.
Read it. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
So much for always tuning in, supporting us. If there's something you want to talk about, if there's someone that you want us to talk to, if guests,
speaking. That's
whatever it is, let us know. We also are public speakers. We're hired and booked as keynote speakers. So if you know that you want to maybe shift your business, your company, your group, whatever in leadership or just with encouragement, we can do that for you and we can serve in that capacity as well. So thank you again. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and then share to your friends, your community, your audience, whatever you have, whatever you're part of. Please support us. The Flight of Your Life, The Power of Propulsion, our book. And then this is yet another episode with Aspire Higher, Charles and Yvana.